Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I have something big. No, I mean pretty damn big. Yeah, it's the Ultimate Collector's quarter scale action figure, God of War. Of course, it's Kratos. So, my God, he is huge. So let's check out what's on the box here before I break them open. So you can see the side of the box here. The other side of the box, what does it say? Features 34 points of articulation, Leviathan Axe, dagger, and shield. And then on the back here, you can see, my God. If you guys have played the game, you know that's a scene from the game. And we have Kratos here, exactly the same bullet points that I read earlier. And his exclusive display diorama. Alright, it's enough of him in the box. Let's break him open. So I finally got him out of the box. One thing I want to say before I get started to Neca, what is the deal? We don't really need these heavy duty metal twist ties to hold these guys into the box. I mean, I just had a heck of a time just getting him out without, I mean, I was planning on just going and cutting these with some wire cutters. They were so hard to twist off. So I don't think these are necessary, guys. But anyways, I'm gonna have to figure out another way to display him because he is just so gigantic. So here's Kratos himself out of the packaging, and holy crap, is he incredible. So we're gonna go over everything on Kratos before I get to his accessories first. So let's measure him, see how high he really is. So he is quarter scale, 18 inches tall. He weighs more than my kitchen scale. He won't register on my kitchen scale, and he doesn't weigh enough for my bathroom scale to pick him up. So what I did was I weighed myself on the bathroom scale, and I held him, and he's just under 7 pounds. So this is a beefy, heavy character from Neca. He is sculpted based on the God of War video game, the PS4 exclusive video game. So if you are familiar with that game, you're gonna recognize almost everything on Kratos here. The white is because of ash from the first game, and the red marks on him, and I've seen this from other reviewers, that if you see the red marks here, it's kind of like a double line all the way around, kind of like a shadow you can see going all the way around him. So that's kind of weird. I've seen on other pictures of Kratos that really isn't how he looks, but I've seen it only on the characters themselves. You can see the absolute detail that is common with all NECA characters. I mean, even the beard sculpt looks amazing. You can see that. That's freaking great. Okay, if we tilt down to his torso here, we do have the scar here that is on his 7-inch counterpart by NECA. This piece right here is movable, so it's made of like a soft rubbery material. So that's, I don't know if you're able to remove this without taking off an arm though. So it looks pretty tight on him, and there's no other way to take him off. So around the back side, you can see the individual pieces of fur are all sculpted very, very nice. And the holster for his Leviathan Axe. So around the front, more of the very, very soft material here. Same thing with his belt. Looks like it's made of some rubber. Looks very, very nice though. It almost looks very like authentic leather. Like they did a great job on this. Okay. Same thing with his belts here. Now that is actually attached to this one piece, and that looks like it's actually attached to the character himself. I can't move this freely. Okay. Now you turn around to the back. Now he has a horn here. So in the game, if you haven't played the game yet, usually he has that head, that talking head here. I forgot his name, but I guess when this character came out, they didn't want to have any spoilers. So they put the horn here instead of having the head hanging from his belt. I think Neca actually did that with the brand new Ultimate Kratos and Atreus character that just came out. They actually do have the head. His sheath here for his little dagger, his little knife. We'll get to that. The ashes of his wife. Pouch right here. Attached. And each individual little piece, let me move his arm out of the way, is really nice looking. I mean, this is great. And then if you tilt down to his legs here, so this little piece around his kneecaps, that is a softer rubber material. And then right below that is molded. Looks like it's all part of his boots, but one part is soft, the other part is the hard plastic. Same thing with this side, and then down to his boots. So his points of articulation here are on top of his head. So it is on a ball joint, but it's kind of hard to move it up and down because his beard is molded. So I can't get it any farther down than that, actually. That's weird. But pretty good motion left and right. His shoulders, not bad. Almost horizontal. Okay. And then we do have some rotation here in his shoulder. And I know he has a double jointed elbow, which you can see there. Double jointed, so it kind of moves here and then right there at the forearm. Okay, but his wrist here, you can spin all the way around, and it is on a hinge, so we get this movement here. Same thing for the other side. Spins all the way around. Now, this was concerning. I saw this. So right here under in his armpit, that looks like the paint's kind of worn off a little bit. So that's kind of concerning. If you do want to pose him in a certain way that exposes his underarm, that might be a concern for you. For me, it's not. So his whole waist is on a ball joint, so we can get this kind of movement out of him. Okay, and it does turn, but not much. Okay, but you can probably turn him enough to get those dynamic poses if you want to display him out of the box. All right, and then we get down to his legs here. We can do a split. That's pretty good. That's about average from what I've seen. All right, and then we can lift up his leg. Not much though. Let me see if I can get more than that. Oh, here we go. There we go. So about right there. Not bad. And then his knees. Man, he is such a beefy character. So looks like his knees are double jointed as well. All right, so we got some pretty good movement in his knees there. And his feet. Let's see. Wow. It's pretty stiff, actually. All right, so we have some movement in his feet. And, all right, we do have an ankle rocker right here in his feet. You can turn them all the way around. Great. So that goes over his articulation. Ooh. So you might be wondering why I'm so late with reviewing this character. When he first came out, first off, I didn't have the YouTube channel. So you might see reviews from, 11 months ago, 12 months ago at this point. I only started 8 months ago. So the thing is, I just picked him up because he was about $139 or $140. Best Buy just had a clearance sale where he was going for $46. So that's when I decided to pull the trigger and pick him up. So yeah, I got him for $46. Check out bestbuy.com. This isn't sponsored. Trust me, it's not sponsored, but check out Best Buy and see if these guys are still available and they're still on clearance, because you can't. How can you pass him up for $46? But here we go. Let's go over some of his accessories. So this is his shield. All right, and it is gigantic. Yeah, right around 7.5 inches across for this guy. They went with this really nice goldish metallic paint for this, and it actually stands out pretty nice. And the sculpt on this is absolutely amazing. Look at this. This is great. It's such good detail on his shield here. And when you turn around to the other side, I mean, look at that. Every single little piece here, like every little scale, whatever these are, you can see they stand out really nice. Everything's red and in like a very weathered gold color. So just like on the previous Kratos edition that Neca released, this little piece goes into here, here on his wrist, and I can remove that, and I'll show you what that looks like shortly. I can't believe this is almost a dinner plate. I'm not kidding. This thing is huge. So let's put this to the side and check out his Leviathan Axe. So once again, let's measure this thing. This thing measures about 9 inches. You can see there from beginning to end. I don't believe, it looks like it has some separation here, but I don't think it's meant to pull apart so I can get it into his hand. So that's interesting that they would have that little seam there, and you would think you can pull it apart so you can easily put it in, but I don't think that's what is intended here. But if you go to the actual head of the axe here, very nice detail on here. This is a very, very, very silver metallic paint job. It looks dirty, very, very weathered, and you can see here the blue runes that you can get in the game. So they got the 2 blue runes here, and then on both sides, incredible detail on this Leviathan Axe. Oh, look at this! I never even noticed that. At the very end of the handle here is sculpted. Oh, wow, fantastic! His little knife, if you want to call it little, this thing measures, yeah, right around 3 1/4 inches for this thing. There you go. So even his little knife is pretty large. Not as much detail as the Leviathan Axe, but still pretty great. There's a lot of detail on the handle actually, but just the paint job I'm talking about. Cool. So I removed the little piece from his forearm here so we can fit the shield on. So let's do that now. There we go. Kind of. There we go. Kratos with the shield on. Look at that. That's pretty badass. And then, like I mentioned before, well, let's actually do this first. So his little knife here, there's a spot for it right there. So that should easily, let me stand up here and do this. That should just easily fit right in there, which it does. There. Fits easily into his sheath right there. And then let's try to get this. Whoa! Okay, well that just popped right out, but that's no big deal. We'll keep it out for now. It's kind of causing him to be a little unbalanced. But this, I guess if I can open up his arm, his hands here a little bit and fit this through. Oh yeah, okay, that's no big deal at all. Turn it around though, so it's facing the correct way. There we go. I have figures that it's much harder to get the weapons in and out of their hands, and this guy wasn't hard at all. So that axe not separating at the handle is not a big deal. So cool, and let's get that shield back on him. All right, so I just didn't have it in tight enough. That's why it fell out. But that's what he looks like with his Leviathan Axe in his hand, shield on the other forearm, and his knife is sheathed in his back, the back part of his belt there. Overall, this guy is absolutely incredible. Unless you've seen him in person, I just can't describe the heft and weightiness, and just, he's like a tank, this guy. He is absolutely phenomenal. They outdid themselves on this Kratos. I mean, it looks a lot like the other version of Kratos, the smaller version that was released around the same time. But this one, just a larger version, I mean, look at the menacing look on his face. I actually wish he came with an alternate head, like a screaming head. And I know they gave us that screaming head with the new Ultimate Atreus and Kratos, but I kind of wish they gave it to us in this version with the quarter scale. See the scar on his eye, very, very nice. Here is the Diorama Backdrop that came with the character, and this thing is gigantic, and it's very flimsy, and it just, you can see the Atreus character here, the boy, get over here, and he just keeps wanting to fall forward. So this thing measures, let me just measure this from the ground up here. This thing measures just under 21 inches high. So if I put this back up and then put Kratos here, and see what they're going for? Hold on. Let me put them in and tilt up on the camera. I can see what they're going for here. But I don't have room. I don't have much room at all. It's enough that Kratos is gigantic with this huge shield. I don't think I'm going to actually display it with this flimsy looking Diorama Backdrop. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the Ultimate Collector's Edition quarter scale Kratos from the new God of War game, or new-ish God of War game? It's been out, I don't know, about a year now. I know it was a little late on my part, but better late than never. I mean, I couldn't pass them up for 46 bucks. Figured I'd do a video on them, and I know probably you've all seen them before 1,000 times, but I'm pretty happy to have this in my collection, and he's gonna go right next to all my other 18-inch figures, but they're horror figures, but I'm sure he can fit right in. Let me know if you went to the Best Buy website and picked him up for 46 bucks like I did. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.